Okay, so here is the lemon clove mead, and as you can see, it is really clear. It's crystal clear. You can see my hand behind it, of course. It is so clear. It's a beautiful mead. And if you look at the bottom, there is definitely some sediment on bottom, and that's just the yeast that was left behind from the last racking, and a little bit of the lemon rind. I saw one piece in there, which is fine. Nothing's wrong with that. But it's been 1 month since we did the first racking, and so we let it set to make sure there was no longer a bubble, and we were no longer getting any bubbles in the airlock. And so we're going to go ahead and rack over, and then after that we're going to take a specific gravity, and we're going to have a taste test. If the specific gravity is at 0.998 or lower, we are going to go ahead and finish. So we're going to use potassium metabisulfite and potassium sorbate, and of course we will whip it to get all of the CO2 out, but that is conditional on the gravity being at 0.998 or less. But it has turned out to be a beautiful mead, just completely clear. It's really pretty, and so we're happy about this one. Of course, at the last tasting, my wife was iffy about this one, and I really liked it. So after a month, we're going to find out if she likes it a little better than last time. Okay, so I'll show you the racking next. Okay, so the equipment for this, we're going to need a hydrometer and a test tube, which we have it right here. And it has been cleaned in one-step cleaner and sanitized in sodium metabisulfite. Also, the racking cane, which has also been cleaned and sanitized. And here is our second carboy. This is the one that we're racking into. And again, it has been cleaned and sanitized. Alright, so now we are going to show you the racking. Alright, so first we want to get the tube all the way in to the second carboy. And so we're going to push this in so that the tube doesn't hit anything else. And with this lemon clove mead, with a couple of the pieces of the lemon floating around, we're really going to have to be careful because they move really easy. The sediment, the yeast and the bentonite that's still down the bottom, it's hardly going to move at all. But those little pieces of the lemon that were left over, they're moving around really easily. And so I've got to be really careful when I rack this one. Okay, so we're going to put this into the carboy that we're racking from, and this usually takes about 2 or 3 tries. So there's the first one, there's the second one, and there's the third one. And it's not going yet, but okay, so is it going out? Yeah, it's finally going. So that took 5 tries. Okay, so now we're going to let it go into the other carboy. And it is kind of going up. I want that. There we go. I want the tube kind of even. Alright, so I'm going to get, can you see that? So I'm going to get the racking cane as close as I can to the bottom, and then I'll move it over. Okay, so as you can see here, it's really clear. It's really beautiful, and so we want to keep it that clear. So I'm trying my best to keep all the sediment out. And again, when we take a gravity reading, if this is at 0.998 or lower, then we will go ahead and finish. And if we rack this one correctly and we don't have any sediment, we won't have to rack again. And so I am going to try my best to make sure that there's no sediment in the second carboy. Okay, so I'm going to start the tilting now. And that's about as good as I could do, and I'm pretty happy with that. So as you can see, this is extremely clear, and we left behind almost no mead whatsoever. And so I'm really happy with that racking. What do you think?
I think it's good.
Yeah, so next we're going to take a hydrometer reading. Then after that, we are going to have a taste test. All right, go ahead and shut it off. Okay, so I just wanted to show you the difference in clarity after the racking. And so here is the one that we just racked, and it's extremely clear. I mean, you could see the tube. That's my finger, my hand on the other side of the mead, but you could see the top part of this carboy on the other side. It is extremely clear. Now, this is the sediment that we left behind, and as you can see, it is not clear. It has bentonite and the dead yeast and a few little pieces of lemon. And so, of course, we don't want that in our final mead. This is going to look beautiful on the glass. So when we pour it, it's going to be just crystal clear. So if we give away any bottles to friends, we don't have to worry about, anything in the mead. And you can see those little pieces of the lemon. And of course, if your friends don't understand mead making and they see, any yeast in it, they may be like, hold on, what's that? But when it's crystal clear like this, it's just a beautiful mead. And so we really like finishing with a crystal clear mead like this. All right, so next we're going to take a hydrometer reading. Then after that, we are going to have a taste test. We are going to take a hydrometer reading, and as you can see, we already have the hydrometer in the test tube. That way we know exactly how much mead we need to get the hydrometer to float. So I'm going to decompress the baster before I put it in the mead, and now I want to turn it upside down so that I am not dripping it all over the place. Again, decompressed before. Pull it up. I turn it over and then in. That just makes sure you're not wasting anything. And as you can see, the hydrometer is not floating hardly at all, which means that if it's not finished, it's extremely close. And the last time, which was 1 month that we took a reading, the last time we racked, it was at 1.003. So we expect this to be completely finished. All right. So now that's going to go here. So let's have a look. All right. So it looks like, and I'm a little surprised, but it looks like it's still above the 1. Yeah, so it's still at 1 point. Let me see if I can get the camera to focus. Yeah, so it's still at 1.003. So since it's been sitting for a month and we have absolutely no bubble, it has not produced a bubble for about 3 weeks. So we know this is finished. It's just going to finish a little above 1, which is okay. It'll be a little sweet. We won't have to back sweeten or anything like that. Okay, so next we are going to have a taste test. Okay, so this is our second taste test of the lemon clove mead, and it looks beautiful on the glass. Last time my wife said that it was about an 8 out of 10, so she's going to tell us what she thinks this time.
Smells really good. It's okay.
You don't like it?
No.
It's probably because you just had the sizer mead.
Probably. But it's okay.
Yeah, the aroma on this one, you can really smell the lemon and the honey. Oh, that's awesome.
I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, so I really like that. If you like lemon, you're going to love that one. But I don't think my wife likes it as much. She's drinking our sample from the Sizer mead, which is her favorite mead ever. And so she's kind of comparing her favorite mead ever to this one. Would you want to do 5 gallons of the lemon clove, or you don't?
I wouldn't, but if you like it, then it's fine with me.
Yeah, so that may come out of one of my my gallon jugs of honey, not yours. Yeah, so I think it's really good. And again, you have to like lemon and you have to like clove for this one because those are the two flavors that really, really come through. Okay, so we are going to now finish this mead. We're going to add potassium, and you can even see it through the mead there. The potassium metabisulfite. I wonder if we could read it. And the potassium sorbate, which are on the other side of the mead right now. And then we're going to whip it, and that will be it. We'll put the bung and airlock on it for about another week, and then after that, we will bottle. Okay, so now we are going to add the potassium sorbate, which is this one, and we'll add half a teaspoon, and the potassium metabisulfite, which is somewhere between a quarter and a fourth, which is the amount that we like. It's a little more potassium metabisulfite than just whenever you're trying to kill wild yeast. It's actually twice that amount before you bottle. And so doing the division down from a half a teaspoon for 6 gallons, we're adding just a little under a quarter of a teaspoon for 1 gallon. And so that should be sufficient. Okay, so we're going to put both of these in the carboy. Then after that, we're going to use the whipping cane and the drill, and we will whip this so that all the CO2 comes out. Okay, so here we go. That is the potassium metabisulfite. And now the sorbate. The sorbate looks cool whenever it's dissolving. It's pretty neat. Okay, so now we are going to put the whipping cane into the carboy, and of course this has been cleaned and sanitized. And now we are going to put the carboy on this towel, and I will attach the drill to the top of the cane. There's the drill. And then after that we will whip it for 5 minutes, and I will show you that next. Okay, so you want to start out slow so you don't get any of it foaming over. You want to go one direction for a little while, then reverse the drill and go the other direction. This is removing all the CO2. Okay, so we're getting ready to bottle the lemon clove mead, and it looks wonderful. As you can see, it has a wonderful yellow tint. It's extremely clear. You can really see through it. It's just a beautiful mead. And so what we're going to need for this to bottle is we're going to need the racking cane and the bottling cane, which we have washed and sanitized. Both of them. There's the one-step cleaner, and there is the sodium metabisulfite. And so we also have washed the bottles. We're going to use the 2 yellow and the 2 frosts that are there. And there is our corker. And we're going to use synthetic quartz for this because we want them to age for a couple of years. At least the first one and the last one we're going to want to age for a couple of years. So we're going to use synthetic quartz. Okay, so I will show you bottling next. Okay, so what we have to do here is we have the racking cane in the mead. One of us has to get the suction going in the racking cane, while the other one holds down the bottling cane. So I'm going to hold this down while my wife gets the racking cane going. Okay, now we are going. As you can see, and if we pull up on this, there's a spring in the tip of the bottling cane and it will stop the flow. But as soon as we push down again, then it starts up again. And based upon how much mead we have, we should get about 3.5 to 4 bottles, and that's 750 milliliter bottles. What you want to do is you want to watch the mead go all the way to the top. And when it gets really close to the top, and actually let me stop this one more time. I'm going to go ahead and get another bottle ready because I want to go straight in to the other bottle. But you want to come all the way to the top, about right there. And you want to try to be careful not to drip too much. It doesn't look like I dripped hardly any. And then start filling this one up. Okay, so my wife is going to take the first bottle and she is about to cork it. So my wife has the bottle in the corker, and this is an awesome corker. She has the synthetic cork in there. And what's going to happen is that inside of here, this is going to make the cork go down to a pencil size, and then this bar is going to push it into the bottle. Okay, go ahead. And it is that easy. So now, as you can see, that is a great depth, and the cork is in, and that's our first bottle. Okay, so now I'm going to continue with the second bottle, and you can see how much the mead has gone down. So as I start to get close to the top, I'm going to go ahead and get the next bottle ready. And the next bottle is going to be a frost bottle. And again, you want to come all the way to the top. And then right before the top, you want to pull it out. And you try to be as careful as possible not to drip. And then right over. And luckily, I did not have a drip. So I want to see the difference between the yellow bottles and the frost. And it looks pretty cool in the frost too. You can see the yellow tint. And so I like both. Okay, so I'm filling the frost bottle up. And again, just looking at the mead that we have left, we may not get another bottle. Right now we have 2, and we're about to have 3. And this mead, it was really good. It's the lemon clove mead. My wife just sort of liked it. She didn't like it a lot. I really like it, but I like lemonade and lemons, and so I really like the lemon flavor in the mead. But my wife just thought it was so-so. So I'm going to have to try to convince her to make a 5-gallon. So this is how much mead we have left in the gallon, and this is how much mead is in the bottle. So it's going to be really close. Okay, so we emptied the hose and the cane, and a little bit out of the 1 gallon jug, and we were able to get 4 bottles total. There are the other 3, and this is our last one. And so we were able to get 4 bottles, and we even have enough left over for a small taste. So we are pretty happy about it. Okay, so we'll let the bottles sit upright like this for 3 days, and then after that we will label them, cap them, and there are the caps. We have several different colors, and we'll put different caps on it to see what looks best. After that, we'll use our heat gun to seal the caps, and we'll put them in the wine rack. But they have to sit upright like this for 3 days to equalize the pressure in the bottle. Okay, so that is it for the lemon clove.